Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday English Insights. I'm Veer, and today we are diving into a topic that so many of us struggle with, hesitating to speak in English. And with me is my wonderful co-host, Lyra. Hey, Lyra.
Hey Veer, and hi everyone. This is such an important topic because so many people out there feel that fear when it comes to speaking in English, even if they understand the language well.
Absolutely. It's something we've both seen and experienced, right? But before we get into how to overcome this fear, let's talk about why it happens in the first place. Lyra, what do you think are some of the main reasons?
Well, one big reason is the fear of making mistakes. Many of us worry about being judged if we don't speak perfectly. I think it's ingrained in us to want to be accurate, especially when speaking a second language.
That's so true. We put this pressure on ourselves to be flawless, but in reality, making mistakes is part of the learning process. Another reason I see often is a lack of confidence, especially if someone hasn't had much practice speaking in English.
Exactly. And that lack of practice can create a vicious cycle. You are too nervous to speak, so you avoid situations where you have to speak, which then leads to even less confidence. It's a tough spot to be in.
And let's not forget about the cultural aspect. In some cultures, there's a huge emphasis on perfect grammar and pronunciation, and that can add extra pressure on individuals when they're speaking in English.
That's a great point. It's important to remember that English is a global language, spoken in so many different accents and dialects. Perfection isn't the goal, communication is.
So, now that we've unpacked why we hesitate, let's shift gears and talk about how we can overcome this fear. What's the first step, Lyra?
The first step, I'd say, is to embrace the idea that mistakes are okay. They're natural. The more you allow yourself to make mistakes, the more you learn. It's about shifting your mindset from fearing mistakes to seeing them as opportunities to improve.
I couldn't agree more. Another tip is to start small. You don't have to dive into complex conversations right away. Begin with short, simple sentences and gradually build your way up. It's about getting comfortable with the language at your own pace.
Yes, and practice is key. Try to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, read articles, and most importantly, practice speaking whenever you can. Even if it's just talking to yourself or with a friend, every bit helps.
That's a great tip. And if you're feeling really nervous, you can even start by speaking in front of a mirror. It helps you get used to the sound of your own voice in English and builds your confidence before speaking with others.
Another strategy is to join a language group or find a speaking partner. Having someone to practice with, who's also learning, can make the process less intimidating. Plus, you can motivate each other.
And if you're really serious about improving, consider working with a tutor who can provide personalized feedback and guidance. Sometimes just having that extra support can make a huge difference in how you feel about speaking English.
Absolutely. And don't forget to celebrate the small victories. Every conversation, no matter how small, is progress. Recognize and celebrate how far you've come, even if it's just ordering coffee in English or saying hello to a stranger.
That's such a positive approach. The journey to fluency isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And each step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating.
Exactly. So, to our listeners out there, remember, everyone has their own pace, and it's okay to feel nervous. The important thing is to keep pushing through that fear and keep practicing.
Well said, Lyra. We hope today's episode gave you some useful insights and the motivation to tackle your fear of speaking in English. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
And we're here to support you on that journey. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to Everyday English Insights for more tips and tricks to help you on your English learning journey.
Take care, everyone, and keep speaking. Until next time.